Are your Indian head pennies rare and valuable coins? Well, we're going to show you what can make these coins rare and valuable. So first up here is a coin that sold for over $150 at auction. It is the 1862 Indian head cent. Now, this 1 cent coin here was struck through grease. So you can see it faded out there as a result of that. And this coin, like I say, sold for $154. Moving on to an 1863 Indian head penny where the obverse has been struck through. So as we zoom in there, you can see that line, which is the strike-through error taking place here. And this coin ended up selling for $139. This coin is also graded by NGC at a mint state 62. The last coin was graded by Annex. Moving on to a coin that is graded by PCGS. This is a very awesome mint error, and that's why the coin sold for over $1,000. You can see that the coin is in really bad condition. It's only graded at an 8, so that's on the lower end of the coin grading scale. The coin grading scale goes up to 70. This is at an 8. So this Indian head penny sold for over $1,000 because it has been double struck, which we can see in the images displayed, of course. And also, this is the Fancy 5. So here's an example of what the difference is with the Fancy 5 for the 1865 Indian head cent. So over $1,000 there. Now, this is obviously an off-center error taking place on an 1865 Indian head penny. This coin sold for $276. It has been cleaned, so if it was not cleaned, it could have sold for even more. Here's an 1891 Indian head penny, and, pretty regular condition. It is graded at an AU 55 brown, but it does have a die clash. So as we zoom in here, you can actually see the design from the reverse of the Indian head penny coming through here on the obverse of the coin. So that's what makes the coin have some extra value even in this condition. The coin sold for $51. Next up is a coin that was struck 10% off center. This penny from 1896 ended up selling for around $160, even graded at an AU 50. All the value there is in that mint error, the off center. Now here is another double strike. This coin also sold for over $1,000. It is graded at a VG8 again, so very low on the coin grading scale, but a lot of value here because the coin has been double struck. So that's where all the value for the coin is at, over $1,000. Moving on to another coin that has been broad struck, so you'll see that mint error around the rim of the Indian head penny. And this coin, again, not in the best condition, only graded at a 25 brown. Pennies will either grade at brown, or red. Red is always the best. This is at a brown. So this coin ended up selling for $61. Hey guys, check this out. These are vintage coin rolls of Indian head cents, also known as Indian head pennies. These are quite old, issued from the mint from the 1850s to the early 1900s. What makes these pennies so recognizable, guys, is their design. A portrait of the Lady Liberty wearing the Native American headdress on the obverse with an oak wreath and a shield on the reverse. Man, these are absolutely loved by coin collectors, and I am personally a huge fan of Indian head pennies myself. So Coins TV is actually going to send me a roll of these, and I'm going to film a video with them to see what I get in my roll. And you guys can get you a roll too by clicking the link in the comments below. So feel free to pick one up if you guys want a whole roll of Indian head pennies. There are all sorts of different rolls, so feel free to go check them out right now in the links below. Next up is a 1903 Indian head cent. Now this has a double strike, but it's a lot more difficult to see this one as opposed to the other double strikes that we looked at, right? So the design was double struck and rotated in collar. It's only graded at a 6, but you can see that double strike. It's very visible as you zoom in on the coin. So always pay attention to your coins and inspect them very closely. You don't want to pass something like this up. This penny sold for $180. Moving on to another double strike. Now, this is a very obvious type of double strike, so you can see that there in the top right of the Indian head penny there. And this coin ended up selling for $456, even though it's still graded at a fine 15 by PCGS. All the value there is in that double strike. Moving on to a 1904. Now, this penny only sold for $43. It's got a small little rim clip there, so Not a super valuable error on something like this, but, you know, it's a $43 coin. Next up is another coin that has been barrage struck, 1907 Indian head cent that sold for $139. Of course, you can see that around the rim of the coin, again, graded by NGC. Here's another penny that was graded by NGC where the reverse has been struck through a capped die. So it looks very normal on the obverse, but as we flip the coin over, you'll see the result of that mint error, and that's why this coin sold for over $400. Next up is a 1909 S Indian head cent that sold for around $160 at auction because it has a laminated planchet here on the reverse. So you can look for laminations on all kinds of different coins. You know, they're going to look very different in pretty much every case, you know. But yeah, you can look for on nickels and wheat pennies and all that good stuff. So pay attention to your coins. You never know what you may come across. This coin ended up selling, like I say, for $160. Here is a no-dated Indian head cent. Very obvious mint error here. The coin has been multi-struck and the coin sold for over $1,000 at auction. And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out those videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.